Anybody know the root of the word courage, where it comes from, the etymology of it? Word coeur is a French word, it means heart. So to have courage means to have heart. When you encourage somebody else, you're putting heart into them. You're loaning them some of your heart to make up for whatever absence or deficit they might have in theirs. And everybody knows what it's like to have courage, because everybody knows what it's like to be scared. Sometimes you can be scared to talk to somebody and ask them out on a date. Sometimes you can be scared to speak your truth. You know, if somebody's being racist or abusive or misogynistic, then it takes courage to tell them to shut up. You know, it takes courage to go and apply for a scholarship. It takes courage to be a person of faith. I think about a really famous psalm, Psalm 23. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And you get this image in the psalm that somebody's going on a long journey, like they're hiking, they're traveling, and then the path takes a twist. And all of a sudden they find themselves in this deep chasm. And I don't know if you've ever been in a place like that, maybe in Moab, maybe hiking in the mountains, but all of a sudden when the cliff walls sort of gather around you, unless it's perfectly noon, the sun is almost absent. And you find yourself quickly in darkness, even though it's the middle of the day. And you imagine that the psalmist is walking through this chasm, and all of a sudden they're surrounded by darkness, animal noises, growls. Maybe they've been going through it at night, and that's spooky. And I love that they say, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will not be afraid. And I think every one of us at some point is going to have to walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Every one of us is going to have to go through a dark time, a time where you can't see where you're going, where you don't know if there's danger all around you, and you're not sure that you're going to make it. But the promise of the Bible is that even though you got to walk in the valley, you're going to get through it. And that gives us courage and heart. And I think it's funny, we're holding our little PVC pipes. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me, you know, like, perfect, yeah. Thank God your rod is made out of metal. But I want you to just think about the difference between the word though and the word through. Only one letter difference, right? What letter is it? You English majors, yeah, it's the letter R. And sign language for the letter R is this, like crossing one finger over the other. I'm not a sign language expert, but I am a historian. And this was one of the early symbols for Christians to recognize one another, is they would shake hands like this in places like the early Roman Empire where it was illegal to be a Christian. And this is how you'd signify to somebody else that you're on, Team Christ, so that you wouldn't be arrested for coming out in public. Of course, many of you probably know the other one where they would make the ichthus, the sign of the fish, on the ground with their toe and scrape it in the dirt. And these were ways that Christians demonstrated courage and also identified with one another. So even though you got to go into the valley of the shadow of death, God promises that you're going to get through it. Though you got to go, you're going to get through. And so I like to just remember, no matter what's going on, I can have courage because God is with me, and I know I'm going to get through it. And just as a little mnemonic aid now, next time you're feeling like you need a little courage, you can cross your fingers.
Thank you.